Hello, and welcome to this video. I'm Armin, the High Merlin of the Order of Magical Law and Spellcasting. Please excuse my appearance. The mask is necessary to conceal my identity in order to protect my friends, family, and loved ones. You see, the information I'm about to share with you will change your life, no doubt about it. There are factions, groups, even families that strive to keep this information from people such as yourself. You'll understand better why this is after I've explained what this knowledge is and who already knows it. For now, I just need you to keep watching and bear with me, and I promise everything will make sense by the end of this video. Now, let me tell you a little about myself. I was raised in a poor town, and my family was considered to be on the low end of the economic scale even there. We were, as the saying goes, pretty much dirt poor. After growing up and venturing out on my own, I began to educate myself through library books, personal experience, college and university classes. I was interested in everything I could get my hands on, but there was something missing no matter what I seemed to learn. I was never able to achieve any real level of success. I began to realize that there was something wrong with my belief system, something that was holding me back, acting like a barrier to my hopes and dreams. At one point, I thought it was all about money, and I focused my efforts entirely in that direction, trying to make as much money as I could. I was actually quite successful and making quite a bit of money personally, and yet I wasn't really happy, and I didn't consider myself successful. I had achieved some dreams and goals, only to find they were empty. It wasn't long before some strange circumstances led to the end of this period of my life, and I felt pretty hard. Basically, the job I had was cut from the business I was working for, and I was laid off. And no matter where I went, no one seemed to even want to talk to me or give me a chance. As I'm sure you already know, it can be hard to find a job when you don't already have one, and yet when you do have one, it seems like they're easy to find. Isn't that strange? Well, I pretty much ended up losing my home, losing my girlfriend at the time, and having all the cool stuff I had bought on credit repossessed. I was feeling about as low as you can imagine, and I just couldn't seem to find a way out. It was then, during this desperate time in my life, that I found a Merlin. Or maybe he found me. To be honest, you can never be sure. But he insisted that I pay for lessons, and that when we were done, I would finally know how to achieve anything I wanted and have the success that had eluded me my entire life. I really don't know how I found the money or made the time. And to be honest, I really didn't understand at the time why I felt so compelled to do it. I mean, this guy seemed a little off his rocker, if you know what I mean. But what happened after that was just amazing. He taught me things I'd never even realized existed. I finally began to understand what had been missing all those years. And best of all, I finally knew how to get it. And ever since that period in my life, I've been able to achieve any dream I desire. And here's probably the hardest part that you'll ever come to realize. It's easy. Life wasn't meant to be hard or difficult after all. No matter what you've been told or what you believe right now, if it seems hard to you, then you don't know this secret yet. And so this is the part where you really need to start paying close attention. The system of magic I'm going to explain to you is called the magic of Monarchs. This is not some arbitrary name. It's a reference to the knowledge that is required in order to achieve and hold a position of power and authority. Think about this for a second. If you were already in a position of real power and could control the world around you, wouldn't you be able to get most anything you really wanted or desired? And isn't this part of what's really missing from your life right now? The power to change things so that you can have whatever you need or want whenever you need it. But it isn't as simple as just sitting on a throne somewhere. That's a part of the lie that you've been told and why your life is so difficult at times. What I'm about to tell you is going to change all of that. The foundational element of the magic of Monarchs is the Nexus. Now listen carefully. The discovery of the Nexus many thousands of years ago is the single greatest discovery of mankind, second to nothing. The Nexus is the basis of all religious doctrine, political and philosophical ideals, in every culture, language, and every society around the world. And to put it simply, the Nexus is the basis of human civilization, and without it, people are reduced to their animalistic natures. You may have no knowledge of this. However, your leaders, whomever they may be, political, spiritual, or business, and so on, have at least an inkling of this knowledge, or at least some part of it. As a matter of fact, the higher up you go, the more details the person will have, even if they don't know everything, which almost no one does. The few who do know the whole story hold positions of great power and authority, and they use this power to serve themselves and the people they care about, just as I'm sure you would if you knew how to tap into this power as well. And most of them have the unfortunate belief that as more people discover this knowledge, they will take power away from them. This isn't true, and anyone who understands the whole story comes to realize that there is enough magic for everyone. But unfortunately, this misinformation can make people like you and I targets of their negativity. So here's the secret you need to learn. If you want to be successful in your life, it's really pretty easy. You just need to learn to harness the real power of magic, and to do that, you must know how to access, tap into, and use the Nexus. And this is what the magic of Monarchs shows you, thereby placing the power in your hands. After all, it's your life. You should be able to choose what it'll be. And what you have now is awareness. Awareness of the Nexus is the first step, just as awareness of a toy is an early step in the development of a child. But it's definitely an important step, not to mention a step in the right direction. So please sign up for my free newsletter so that you can see all the other free videos as they're made available to my special members. As a matter of fact, the first email you'll receive will direct you to the next video in the series, and I'll tell you more about the various people you already know that have this knowledge and explain how they have used it to become incredibly successful. Until then, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon.